Greetings, everybody. Tom Matuska back with you live on Thursday afternoon for the Matuska Taxidermy Supply Company. I'm here with Amber Engels, and Brett Wingfield has come back from vacation. A lot of vacations, as a matter of fact. And any of you that are friends of his on Facebook saw the beautiful buck that he shot down in southeastern Iowa with Brian. And a lot of good reference material that he brought back.
Yes, we did.
And you know, these trips are tax deductible when you have to actually kill a deer and take measurements. Yeah, it's all very important stuff. Last week we showed you how to make Euro mounts. We kind of talked about boiling skulls, bleaching skulls, cooking them in sal soda to get the meat off quicker, how to bone them out first. We showed you and explained the power washer, how to use a power washer to speed up your work. Turkey propane burner to cook off your meat. And we also brushed on, but we didn't talk about it. A lot of people discuss beetles, you know, the beetle cleaning, and that's it works very, very well. The thing about beetles is you want to keep them a long ways away from your shop, and it's actually the larva of the dermestid beetle that will feed on the meat and tissue on skulls, and it cleans them up really, really nice. Just make sure you don't get one of those little critters in your shop, or they will decimate your mounted trophies. They can be really, really bad. People that have beetles usually do them far removed from their shops. And sometimes we will get, maybe an old skull that somebody's had laying around sometimes, and we'll bring it in, set it on the floor, and all of a sudden one of those little dermestid beetles starts crawling across the floor. Don't let him get away, or you're going to have to have an exterminator. You're going to have to get Tyler Igo or somebody up here to exterminate your bug problem. The dermestid beetles have a little furry stripe across their back, you know, and they're easy to recognize. They kind of a little yellow stripe, and they are bad for eating anything other than what you want them to. People that have beetles, they kind of have either secure rooms or they have a freezer with, what's somebody saying?
We've got an exterminator on here.
Sawdust. You know, they'll have them an old freezer, and they put sawdust in them, but the beetles have to be fed. You have to care for your beetles. They get hungry, and it's just like any other pet. You got to keep them fed. So if you're interested in beetles, there's a lot of information online, and that's a whole nother business. And I've never really wanted to go the beetle route, so we do the cooking thing. But we explained how to do that. We also showed you how to cut antlers off and use the artificial skulls. That works real well. Some people just don't want to mess with the cooking and the dirty, you know, the propane and scraping the meat off, that sort of thing. So you can actually buy reproduction skulls. You can buy reproduction skulls, what are they called, counterfeit, with the teeth in them. They look so real. And you can take something like this, and it's kind of like the same material that our duck bills are made of. It's a urethane plastic, real white, little too plastic looking, but you can put a nice wash on that, and it'll go down in the cracks and the crevices, and you can make that look like a skull, like a really, really nice skull. So that was last week's segment. So go ahead and, you know, look at those. If you missed it, make sure you look at that. Whenever you detach a antler and have to put it back on, you have to fix the seam. I think Amber's going to show you that a little later.
Yep. Or shed antlers too.
Shed antlers too.
Yeah.
That's what this was. This
was
was a deer that we raised. This is Mandy's pet, and this was one set of Sage's shed antlers, and it was just too nice to be laying around, so we took one of the new counterfeit skulls that we carry and put it on there. And am I supposed to tell them to like and share? We don't go any farther?
Yeah, you already have people ahead of the game that
They
have
know
already
the
Oh,
shared
good.
the video.
Very important to like and share, because that's what keeps us going from week to week to week.
And make sure you stay tuned, because we'll pick every week we pick a viewer from the previous week that shared the video and let us know, and we will let you be in the chance for one of our giveaways at the end of every show. So stay tuned for that here at the end.
And do they have to share during this live?
There's so many people that can't watch live because of the timing and whatnot, so we actually allow it. If you share right now, it helps. So if you're watching right now, hit the share button next to the comments. But if you are watching this after we're live, you have a full week to be in the drawing for next week's live. And next week, we're going to be going live on Thanksgiving possibly. And we're going to have a big giveaway. So make sure we'll announce all this stuff here at the end. So you got to stay tuned for some fun announcements.
Turkey drumstick in one hand and your phone in the other. Keys are going to be all greasy, full of
I was
gravy.
thinking wine, but okay.
Oh, wine.
Glass of wine.
Okay, last week you saw us, and we explained this. This little mule deer is in velvet. Now, if you cook that skull, it was on the skull, if you cook that, the steam and the water is going to ruin your velvet on the base of this deer. What works rather well is, you saw Amber and I cut these off of the skull. This is the skull. We then took the skull with the antlers removed, threw them into the pot of sal soda and water, cooked them clean, and now this is ready to reattach the antlers. So you do have an extra step in there because these have to be put back on. So that's what we're going to show you today. And we have, here's one of our, this is another project that we have. This is one of our artificial skulls with a Hydra coating.
Yep, from Ryan Wolf does that one.
And is it timber?
That's a timber one, yep.
Timber one?
Yep, I think 5 different colors in those.
And these are really cool. Really, really cool.
They're all on our pinch back.
As a matter of fact, I had the customer came in today asking for this, is why I have it in my hand while we're going to be doing it. And he said, I've got a lot of other trophies and I don't have one of those. He says, just something different, I want to try one. So that's the kind of people that like this. You know, some people might say, oh, I got to have it. I mean, we have American flags, we have camel
Those
patterns.
would make good Christmas gifts.
Yeah, just like this.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you how to do it on a real skull, but we do it the same way on this too. So, I think we'll probably attach these. We'll drill them out and attach them. I did one side just to speed time, to save time, and I actually took, we're going to attach this with threaded rod. Don't they come with square stock? I think they come with, some of them come with square stock, don't they? And that works well also if you have square stock. And that's just square steel bar. Yeah. Or threaded rod works real good too. And if you're using threaded rod, make sure there's no oil on it because you want your Autobody Putty or your epoxy or whatever to stick real good. So I want a space around my bar. So I looked at the pedicle and I kind of figured a 1/2 inch spade bit would work. And I drilled that in and test fitted that. And I want that to go up into the antler main beam. And check your angle. And that sits pretty good. So I'm going to...
Our reproduction skulls actually come with the pedestal rods.
Yeah, and I think they're square.
Yep.
And the square ones work good. The ready rod or whatever it is kind of grips the...
I think the hello skull comes with the gripped ones.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how to drill in this other side. And I like to have all my pieces ready to go. Now, the one thing that you're going to end up doing is as you drill down in here, you're probably going to go into the brain cavity, which isn't going to give you, there's not enough bone here before you get into the brain to actually hold the rod. So I like to have some kind of fill in here to take up the hollowness of the brain. And we use, Manny's got a hand up.
Do you guys sometimes have to do the whitening portion twice?
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah. We don't have a problem. Now, now we're probably not going to whiten this one again, but as I've been working around on the table and with the horns, I've got this one all dirty. So I just took a little lacquer thin on a rag and it wipes right off. But sometimes if you didn't get the brain out well enough, the grease is gonna permeate the bone, and you might have to do that. Also, there are times where cooking is not gonna get it any cleaner. Bleaching is not gonna get it any cleaner. We have taken flat white paint, like Kills, yeah, in a spray can, and stand back and dust it. Don't paint it solid flat white, just dust it, and you can make this look really nice.
Yeah.
And the Kills works good, Kills brand, you can get it at any hardware store. This is always dangerous drilling in. Oh, I was going to tell you, up inside, I needed to fill the brain cavity, so I have some kind of backing, so whatever glue that I put down in there, it doesn't fall to Never Never Land. We don't have information on it right now, but we make a lot of our foam base work and things like that out of 10-pound density foam, and it does not foam as much as the mannequin foam, but we love it. We do alterations with it. Any place you need to put in leg rods or you need sturdiness, it's very lightweight, and we love it. And we just told Mandy that we got to.
I will have it done tomorrow.
It's great. It's
Ultra
a
hard.
great
Ultra
product.
hard.
Okay. We were chastised for not wearing our safety glasses. These are so dirty.
I
can't
know,
even see
it's
So
them.
it's not very safe, is
That's
it?
what I told you before. Here, try
All right.
this part.
No, I'm good. I take it back. I take it. All right. Now, I'm going to try to, you don't want to run out the side. We drilled a pilot hole first, a little bitty pilot hole, straight down to in there. Oops, would you grab that? Yeah. Doing these things live, everything goes wrong, like the whole skull flies off the table and breaks into a million pieces.
You've been lucky so far. You are supposed to say, on a daily basis, we always wear our safety stuff and take safety precautions, but for the mere fact that we want you to hear us and make it able, we
We're not wearing our
decided not to
respirator.
for 1
Yeah.
hour.
Now I just selected a spot that I thought was on center. You don't want to come out the side. In velvet, it's a little bit easier because the velvet will cover it. I'm going to hold my hand around here and I will feel it get warm. So if I feel it getting warm, I know it's warm up here, I better head that direction. You can kind of tell where to go and where not to go by the feel. And I want to go up here maybe a couple inches.
Now you said that's a half-inch
Well,
bit, and you've got, what, 3/8 ready rod?
probably, and kind of just depends. This is, I would say, overkill for this deer. You wouldn't need to go this big. You could go smaller. On a big set of antlers, I'd go pretty big. We even do elk. We have that big elk we showed you last week. That we do something heavy, maybe even square stock. And some of you may reply or think this looks dangerous. Not very often do you run it into your leg. It can happen. We've done it. I've done it. And it hurts.
You've had a knife in there, you've had all sorts of stuff in there.
Well, that's just a matter of
One
doing,
of our pet deer's antlers got you.
doing taxidermy work. Okay, now I'm just going to test fit my depth. I need to go a little farther in both of these. Now I'll go as far as I think I dare up into the main beam. Now I'm going to test it, and any farther I'll go on the other, down into the skull. We'll go down into the skull and that. You can clean that one out when I'm doing this. And we talked about velvet a little bit last week. Velvet is kind of a tricky thing, and when you get a velvet antler in, the first thing you're going to want to do is look at it. With a little experience, you're going to know if it's big and bulbous and I'd say what, August or something like that, it's still growing. You will feel that velvet and that tissue, that skin in there, it actually rolls back and forth. That probably is going to need to be freeze dried. As he goes, our deer almost overnight. Sometimes I'll go out to our live deer and they're going to, they're nice and pretty, and I'll think, tomorrow's going to be a perfect day to get pictures because they're so full, and a 140-inch deer looks like a 180-inch deer. They look huge. I go out the next day and they're dried down already. Overnight, they will go from that big, 2 inches across or 1.5 inches across here down to this overnight. It's that fast. So when they come into something like this one actually moved a little bit, and we injected. You can use Antler Velvet Tan. We did denatured alcohol, and we injected under that skin, and alcohol and acetone will actually dry this out really, really fast. These dried from last week when we were working on them till now. Now he has a lot of scuffs around here, and that's the way he was when he came in. And in another segment, we'll show you how to fix that. Amber's going to show you how to fix that. All right, let's see how far we've gone here. Do I have one rod or do I have two? Is there another one?
There's one here. Oh, right there, on the cart.
This one?
Yeah.
The big
Oh,
chunk?
that's a big long one.
Would you go cut me one of them like about that long? And there's different things you can attach these with. 5-minute, don't do it like that. 5-minute epoxy works good, but you're going to have to hold it for a long time because 5-minute epoxy is not really 5-minute epoxy.
No.
It kind of sets to where you can't work with it for 5 minutes, but it takes really an hour before it really sets up. Autobody Putty works good, and I myself like to putty the rods in first, make sure that the rods are nice and secure, and then do the antler separately. Sound okay?
Yep.
So did you take some measurements last week before you cut them off?
Good point. Amber, we showed them last week. We took measurements between the tips of the main beams and these back points. We took little measurements, and we got 10 inches and 9 inches. And before we started today, we held it onto the skull, and it worked. Works pretty good. But you're going to have to. Somebody's going to run a tape. It's going to take 2 people. So get a helper or a kid or your wife or somebody, because somebody's going to run the tape while you hold the antlers. And if we use Autobody Putty, it'll take 7-8 minutes to set up before you can let go.
Yeah.
And using Autobody Putty, if anything goes wrong and no, it's set and I didn't get them where I wanted to, put a vice grips on them and twist them out. You've got a window of opportunity to take them apart and redo them. That's
Right.
not uncommon for us to do. All right, I'm going to mix you up some Autobody Putty.
With the dipped skull, we have a customer out there right now that wants a European skull bronze. We sell the bronze, but he kind of wants to use his original skull.
Okay.
What would you charge for that?
I know somebody that can do a really beautiful bronze skull. Tell them how you did that. That was nice. That was very, for Donnie
Keep in mind
Johnson.
we have a customer out there that wants, really, actually, is
There
now.
is a
I know.
customer out there.
So he wants a price.
Oh, so you need a price.
Yeah.
What do the price? For the euro mount, without doing anything to it, I think was $175. You better have another $80-ish. Let's say $250 plus tax.
Okay.
And Amber did that. We had somebody in, and they did not want the artificial skull, which we have in a bronze. They wanted their own. So
Yes, we just
give it to
painted.
somebody that's kind of crafty,
Painted it up.
and she took her paint, and it was so popular that that's why we carry the artificial ones now.
They do look really neat after they get all done. It's something different, especially for a lot of people who have a lot of antlers, big hunters, and have shot so many deer. It's nice to have a variety.
Yeah, those bronze effects are cool.
We have a lot of people that look at our price for euro mounts, and I think just to do this is $175. If they want a panel or anything like that, it's $250. And they think, oh my gosh, I can do it myself, and go for it, because this is dirty
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I love to have people say, go do it. You know, they're gonna do it themselves. They'll
Yeah.
be in. They'll be
Yeah.
in. This didn't turn out quite like I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we told you that. Okay, Autobody Putty. Any of you that have used it before, our brand is Autobody Master, lightweight body filler. Bondo brand is good. It doesn't have to be an expensive kind that has fillers in and reinforcement and things like that. Just inexpensive Autobody Putty. Whenever you get Autobody Putty, it will come with a hardener, a cream hardener like this. And some of the directions they'll tell you, but it's usually about a 1 inch of this per golf ball size of your putty. Now, this is so goopy, I'm not going to be able to get it down in that hole. But if I add a little bit of polyester resin to it, I can make it pourable.
You just added a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons.
I probably added a 1/4.
Fourth cup.
That work for you?
Mm-hmm.
Just so it'll pour. Now, this is when you talk about fiberglass, polyester resin is the glass portion of fiberglass. Motorcycle gas tanks are made with this and fiber, the fiber glass. It's plastic glass. This is the putty version of this. The hardener will set them both up.
If you over pour the polyester, will that hurt it, or you just add more?
It'll get really, really thin and a little hard to work with. It'll run everywhere.
So just
It'll still set up.
Add more Bondo though?
You can add more Bondo.
Yep.
Now you can add, any of you people that do Bondo ears on your deer, this is basically what you're using, and you probably chop up some fiberglass filler in it. Okay? You go ahead and get one of these. You want to do 2 at one time?
It certainly could.
And
Now that we
then
got both the holes
maybe
drilled.
Brent can hold the tape for you. And
Sure.
I don't want any part of this, because if it goes wrong, I have nothing to do with it.
So are we bondoing into the skull or the antler?
Into the skull, I think. Or into the skulls.
I think the skull makes sense. Yeah.
And now the hardener that you're using with this is white hardener.
Oh yeah. When you get it at the store, it's going to be red, or it's going to be green, or it's going to be blue. And we use so much of it on our rock work here that we use a whole lot of the white. Works good.
And you sell that separately here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice because you can
I might
see
make
it
it a
really
little-
didn't change the color, so it still stays that light gray color, and it's much easier to paint than the blue or the red. It's much easier.
Just gotta make sure you mix it thorough, because
Right.
you're not gonna be able to see.
Right, you
Where
can't
it-
see any of the coloration in it,
Yeah.
so be sure you
Remember?
know how much you're putting in. As far as ratio from hardener to,
And if you get it on the outside, if you get it on the skull, let it gel. It'll gel and it'll flip right off.
that'll be more than enough.
You're just leaving a little bit of room for the rod.
Yeah, yep, and I think I filled that last one a little bit too full, but that's okay, it'll come out. And then we'll just wipe it off. I don't know if I want it up on there.
This is so
And I'd
good.
rather have it a little bit too much than not enough right now.
This is so risky to do live.
And again, those rods were cleaned with lacquer thinner or
Lacquer
something
thinner
to
or
get any of
anything
the
to get
oils
the
off
oil
of
off.
them. Yep. So the Bondo will adhere pretty good to them.
I'm just kind of getting some of that extra Bondo off there.
Do you ever wear gloves when you're working with that type of stuff? Okay, we need from tip of the main beams, right here, we need 10 inches. About there.
Yep.
And we need 9 back here.
Oops, sorry. You're at 8. So you're 9 there. You're a little over 10 if you can kind of go that way maybe.
And then just make sure you kind of eyeball them so they look
10
straight.
now.
Okay.
And you're at 10. You can bring them in. There you go. 9 and 10.
Okay.
That's what we want.
Ta-da.
Now,
And then now have somebody look at it straight head on and just make sure that they're symmetrical, because even though, yep, okay,
That looks great. One more time.
yep, one more time.
10. 9.
Now it's just a matter of just sitting here holding on to them.
and then it's kind of handy if somebody that's not helping you is, you know, can take the stick and see what the Autobody Putty. This is gelling fast, so
Hope she doesn't have to sneeze.
I put a lot of hardener in there.
This is when somebody comes by and gets you in the ribs.
Bill Jensen says, talking about rocks, I just love the gray kit for rocks I bought from you.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
We've always done fabulous rocks and habitat. I always tell the story that I used to be real active in FNAWS, Foundation North American Wild Sheep, and I did a lot of sheep, I did a lot of mountain goats and things like that, mountain lions, and I'd do these exotic rock bases, and I'd take them to shows, and people would go, that is awesome. And you like that? Oh, those are the best rocks ever. What about the sheep? Yeah, he's good, but the rocks are really cool. They love the rocks. They love the rocks. I was more proud of the animal, and the rocks were just kind of an add-on. But that's kind of how we ever got started into the rock business. Okay, this is good and rubbery right now, so you can probably pull them off, maybe.
Kind of very carefully trying not to bang on them too hard. Looks like a little bit of that Bondo residue.
Now you want
Just
to
kind of grab the bottom there.
grab a knife and you can trim that up a little bit.
Mandy, it's 5.
5. We have last week's giveaway, and they must be live to claim their prize. And if they don't, then it goes to somebody else. Our first winner is Chris McDonald. So Chris, if you're watching, chime in and let us know, and we'll let you pick a bag at the end. So Chris McDonald, if anybody knows Chris and wants to be a good friend, you could tag him.
Tick tock, tick tock.
You ready to mix up the top?
If you are, you want them both at once or
I think it worked out kind of good.
one at a time?
Especially,
Or
yeah,
both
no,
at
I
once?
think-
Okay.
I think
We
both
can do
at
it
once.
both or something.
Now, if anything went wrong and you blew it and you're not gonna get your measurements or they're all off crooked or something, right now, take a vice grip, twist that off. You have a window of, I'd say, 15 minutes that you can get that rod out, re-drill your hole, and do it again.
Yep.
We do a lot of detachable antlers on moose and elk, and invariably, we think we did it right, only to see that, oh man, they're crooked, and we have to pull one off. It's not uncommon to do. All right? That mixture was good for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that gave adequate amount of time and it was good.
Now we're doing this little mule deer on the real skull. You can also use artificial skulls to do this. Do we not have any questions? Do all these people know all this stuff, or?
Comment and questions if you have any.
Rob's getting nailed with rain and snow. Keep it.
Sounds terrible.
Better them than us.
Yeah. That was a decent day today.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
Okay. And you liked my
Hot mix.
hot mix? Yeah.
And that rod will get hot too. That's something that we should tell them.
The rod is warm. Anything, now, I was gonna say we didn't need to do it, but if you're ever in a hurry and wanna do something really fast, if you heat up that rod with a heat gun or a torch, not red hot, just toasty warm, it'll set up in seconds. So if you ever wanna do something really fast, heat up the rod.
Because heat will catalyze bond, right?
Yes, along with
Help
the
catalyze,
speed,
yeah.
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 How long till it's fully hard?
Well, directions will probably tell you tomorrow, but it'll be pretty hard within an hour. Like you could never get that rod out right now. It's hard.
Right. It's, I mean, I can still scratch it with my fingernail, but it gets hard.
And that'll vary
quickly.
with the amount of resin in it and the amount of hardener in it. Both of those will alter the setup time.
Jessica Fowler says you guys rock.
Get it? Rock?
Get it?
The gray rock video?
You took my cup.
Oh, you need it?
Well, I was gonna use the drip pan here real quick.
Good.
For those just tuning in, you are with Matuska Taxidermy Supply Company, and we do giveaways at the end of every live video on Thursdays. So make sure you hit the share button and let us know you shared it, so you can be in the chance to win. We have some great giveaways every week.
How full are you filling the antler?
You gotta guess, but I'd say
That one could maybe even
More?
just be a little bit more.
not full enough.
If you fill it completely full, it's gonna pour out and it'll make a little bit of a mess. If you don't put in enough, then it might not get a good enough connection. Could I have that cup? So I don't spill bond all over your desk.
Have you ever had the velvet stripped and fake velvet added?
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna face it towards Mandy straight like that, okay?
Okay, and we are looking for,
On those,
10
you're
and
looking for
9?
9.
we're looking for 9 here.
Yep. I'm sorry, 10.
10?
10.
So there's 10.
Good.
And you're there at 9.
Good.
A little wide of 10. There you go.
How's it look for straight there, camera people?
Good to me.
Customer's gonna scream if your eyes are
For
off.
the antler repair, the velvet repair, we do have a very nice color of flocking that we sell for that.
A little wider. There you
Alright, I got a cramp in my hand here.
go. Oh no.
There we go. I
Got
got
it?
it, yeah.
Okay.
Just had to Reposition.
Now we'll a lot of times fasten these on a mounting stand or something like that.
Who's our winner? Chris McDonald?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
No.
Oh, no.
Got it?
Let's do it.
Next one. Brian Billings. Are you watching, Brian? Let us know you're watching. You are the lucky winner from the shares last week. Brian Billings. So Brian has 15 minutes to tune in. Otherwise, it will go to one of you lucky live viewers.
Well, these people that were in last week that don't get it because they don't tune in makes me think they didn't come back because they didn't like it last week, which makes me feel real bad.
Or they're at a different time
He's
zone
here.
and they can't
He's here?
do it.
Brian Billings says, I hear.
Oh, good.
All right, Brian, in about 15 minutes, we'll let you pick your bag. And until then, they will continue.
It's slowing down. It's going to set within the hour.
Within the hour. Hopefully a little bit quicker.
No, it'll be fast. I didn't make it as hot as the last one because that was pretty fast. And maybe with your warm threaded rod, it'll set up faster than this.
Man, you got any good news?
I do. I always have good news. We have been working hard at Christmas gift ideas and Black Friday stuff and just things to give you guys as good a deals as possible. So, in the next couple weeks, you're going to really want to stay tuned and make sure you're following us on social media because we're going to have all sorts of crazy good deals. Kirsten's already sick of Christmas and some flyers and sales because I'm putting her on it. But make sure you stay tuned. We're going to start one today at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. And then the Black Friday stuff is just going to be crazy. We've been working really hard and we've just been so busy that
You have been.
the quantity sales we're able to pass on to you guys. So that's kind of what we're doing this Black Friday is passing on quantity discounts. So stay tuned for that. I do have some recommendations. Robert Pitney says can always learn something from this company. Justin Swinartsky says Facebook Live videos was very helpful. John Lambert, great customer service, great product selection, and fast, reasonable shipping. Rob Ramsholm says absolutely love ordering from this company. Wide selection, great fast service, shipping, and price comparison. Can't forget that I like the treats with every order. Rob's actually watching right now. John Whitcamp, fantastic job, even ahead of schedule. So thank you so much for those of you that reach out and give us stars or recommendations, all that. We really appreciate it, and it makes us just enjoy what we do that much more. So thank you. Make sure to share the video and like it.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, don't let go. What are you
I had
doing?
an itch. I couldn't help it.
I'll get the itches. You just keep holding.
Our giveaways this week are, we have one of our artificial rocks, lightweight, made out of the 10-pound density fish foam. A very nice walnut hollow base with our insert, our marsh insert that's sealed. We have calipers because Tom can't have the tape measure go by itself, so the calipers go with the tape measure.
And measurement sheets.
I don't have that.
Yeah, I told Kirsten.
That was not on my list.
You get
Wasn't
measurement
approved.
Sheets. You'll get measurement sheets with it also.
And our favorite angle grooming brush. So, Brian gets a chance at winning one of those.
You're sure it's nice and hard? And you'll have to be gentle with this for a little while.
Very gentle, yeah.
It's gelled and it's hard in the cup, but it's kind of rubbery. Oh yeah, show me. This is the measurement sheet you'll get.
That was sketched by Gary Zahner.
Gary Zahner, the original sculptor of trademark mannequins, and he was meticulous in his measurements. And they came from, I mean, he had, when we bought the Gary Zahner's company, Trademark Mannequins, he had with it, we got wolf measurement sheets, we got bear measurement sheets, we got kudu measurement sheets. So we revert back to those all the time. Anytime we're doing anatomy work or sculpting work, we go get the Gary Zahner measurement sheets that he had filled out years ago, and
Deer haven't changed over the
deer haven't changed.
over our
have they?
lifetime, anyway.
Okay, now she's just kind of taking her knife and trimming up the any of the bondo that oozed out, and it chips off of the skull really, really well, and doesn't show. If you needed to, you could take a little lacquer thinner.
But be ultra careful. I'm making sure not to bump or put too much pressure. I don't want to be turning these completely to the side because that might be putting too much pressure on that bondo because it's still getting hard, and I can feel it warming real good inside of there.
Can you show them how to fix that yet?
I think so.
With a little,
Yeah.
we have
Fix it right behind it.
So what you'll end up having left is a little tiny seam right in there. So now we'll just go ahead and we're gonna use some of this Fix-It sculpt here.
Who put these lids on? I never put lids on. Never.
And why fix it sculpt over epoxy?
Dave Brummel says to Brett,
Yeah.
Fix-It sculpt is like epoxy sculpt on steroids.
His words were Fix-It Sculpt is the Lamborghini
Oh.
to epoxy sculpt's Ford.
Got it. That's close.
Of epoxies.
I get you some water, remember?
The nice things about Fix-It Sculpt are it doesn't dry with the sheen that epoxy sculpt does, and it also dries with a real neutral color, kind of a bone white, that oftentimes you don't even have to color it to get it to match and blend. So epoxy sculpt, natural anyways, dries to a dark gray, and then you end up having to paint it. So with this, we may not even have a paint fix.
You actually prefer fix it sculpt with fish.
I love
sculpt.
I love fixing sculpt. I really do. It's been very good to me. I've
color's
found
nice.
it to be
Yeah.
to be easier to work with.
At one of our earlier segments, we think, I got this deer out because this is the one that goes on that timber camouflaged skull, and in the directions it says there's all kinds of pictures of this deer on the motion camera, and it says fix the antlers the same as what it is, match it to the picture. And I took this out of the horn room, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, what's busted on it? Well, in one of our earlier segments, Amber actually fixed this, and I think it was kind of busted all the way off, wasn't it? This was completely off. The brow tie, if you look really, really close, she had to show me where she fixed it, but she reconstructed this entire thing, and I think we did it on one of our lives.
You did.
Yep.
And
everything.
I mean, it's so good, she had to show me where it was. She did it with Fix-It Sculpt, little stain with a Q-tip,
That was
and
the
roll it on the
Q-tip,
Q-tip.
roll
The
it.
Cocoa Brown.
Yeah.
To answer a few of your people that don't get to watch it live all the time, Mike says time zone is 9.5 hours off from Eastern here in Kandahar.
Oh my goodness.
Gallon says, I usually have to watch the recordings of your live videos due to my work schedule. Thank you for posting those. I got off work early so I could actually watch y'all live today. Great
live.
stuff.
Wow.
Amazing, just amazing.
So our schedule just doesn't work for everybody. That's why we open up the sharing for a week. So those can still share and get in a chance
And you
to know.
girls do a really good job at that too.
Thanks.
It's all
Now you're just
Kristen.
packing the crack with
Yep.
Fix-It Sculpt and matching it to the bone.
Yep, I'm just kind of filling the crack right now around where that little bit of gap was, and just kind of trying to get it even. And then as soon as I get all the way, I'll probably go all the way around with it first, and then I'll work on blending it and getting it all smooth. So I'm just gonna get it all filled and then smooth it out.
You have a Nicola from Alaska watching. I saw New York watching earlier.
Wow.
All over.
And then this is a little bit more of a grayer kind of a color than what the bone is after we whitened it. So we're gonna come back in and we can paint. And if you're in a real big hurry, you could do that right away.
And you
Because
can
this
mix
is
paint with it also to color it if you have to.
Brian Wakefield from Texas. Mark Barber from New York.
Frank from Louisiana.
Frank Williams from Louisiana. We are located in northwest Iowa. We're in kind of a beautiful little,
Oasis.
yeah, in the middle of cornfields.
It is.
There's
I
a
was
beautiful lakes and all sorts of tourist stuff to do. It's a great place to come visit and get your taxidermy supplies if you're looking for a vacation or a
It
trip away
is.
with the
It
family.
is.
one of the only places you would think about vacationing.
74 degrees in Santa Barbara.
Well, we're kind of not there.
We're not.
We're going
Not
into
quite.
Yeah, they've got fires and all that stuff. We don't want to go down there.
Dave Gold at Cape Cod, Massachusetts, is expecting first snow of the year tonight. First snow of the year tonight. That sounds terrible. We already had ours in
Yeah, we had some, not much.
middle
but a
of
little.
harvest.
Yeah.
Kellen from Ontario, Canada. Ed Barber from New York. New Mexico, Eric Perez. So fun.
Are we going to New Mexico? I want to go to New Mexico.
I don't know, we should.
We should.
Where are you going now? You're judging Utah. You're going to this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that's added to our list.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
10 inches of snow in West Virginia.
Wow.
West
Oh
Virginia.
my gosh, I should quit complaining.
Yeah, we're going to Utah and we're gonna take a whole big trailer full of those sagebrush mule deer because the Utah people love the
They
sagebrush.
cannot get enough of
They
them.
promised to buy them all, didn't they?
Yeah. They
For
buy,
those of you by Salt Lake City, Utah, you can contact Jeremy Judkins because he actually just keeps them in stock and will sell them out of his building. So I have his information. If anybody wants to try them out, he will help you out.
they buy them by the pallets, like lots of pallets.
No, terrible. I don't know if you guys have hard people to buy for in your families, but we have a lot. One of the things, we have awesome gift ideas for Christmas, but some great ideas if people are asking you and you're tired of them asking, what do you want, what do you want? Our new DVDs, those are great ones by Cole Cruikshank, the Taxidermy University. Those would be great gift ideas if you want to let people know those. Another one would be our pan pastel kits. Great gift idea. The Sharpen Airs. You can't really be a shop without one now. They're pretty amazing. We're going to bring them to shows and start showing people because it's just kind of unreal to see that stuff. But there's lots of great ideas to start telling people what you want for Christmas because it's right around the corner. I think Walmart already had that stuff up 2 months
Oh my
ago.
gosh. And Christmas music and everything else.
Kirsten won't let me do that yet.
She was singing Christmas music today.
I was.
No.
No.
I was.
Tom and crew, what was your most memorable and or favorite mount?
Polar bear was cool.
Yeah, we did some polar bears when they opened it up for a while. Remember that? We had polar
Yeah.
bears that were stored in Canada, tanned and in barrels that had been there for 20 years. And we did those and we bleached them.
Yep. Did
We did some
ice
nice polar
strips.
bears. Did the ice and the seal holes and things like that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Crocodile's fun.
Crocodile's gonna be very cool.
You'll see the crocodile soon.
Yeah. Jessica Fowler says, when are you shipping out the catalog?
Good question.
That is a great question. I actually just called to check on them today. And with the holiday coming up, they actually aren't going to get out before Thanksgiving, which is okay because we don't want them buried in your sale stuff. But they will be there after Thanksgiving. So the last week in November, they are supposed to be shipping out to you.
It's going to be worth the wait.
So be patient, but they are on their way. Lots of fun stuff.
Mandy's, oh, broke it. Mandy's pretty proud of it, and rightfully so, because she put her heart into it, and it's a beautiful catalog.
I do. I had some great helpers with Kirsten and Josh, so I can't take all the credit. But it's a lot of work. Fun to do.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Ooh.
Let us, Ryan Billings, pick your person for your bag winner. For your chance at a base, a rock, an angle grooming brush, or your calipers, measuring sheet, and tape measure.
John LeCount says, first time I've seen it live.
Ooh, welcome.
Nice.
That's cool.
That is. So, fun thing, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. We won't be doing our usual live. My dad and I are going to Milwaukee to visit Mark and his family to do Thanksgiving. And we are actually going to go live from Milwaukee. And we're going to go over some of the huge Black Friday sales we're going to pass on to you guys. And also, we are giving away an airbrush, $160 value airbrush from Badger. And it comes with everything in there. It's got your color cup, your bottles, your hose, your needles, all that stuff. So we're going to be giving that. You must be live to watch it. We realize that you have family stuff, but we're going to do it probably around 5 or 6. So you should be able to maybe tune in and check it out. Tom's really excited about it.
How could this go wrong?
Brian picked Brett.
Oh,
what'd he get?
wow.
What'd he get?
Well, you want to see everybody else's? Or
He did not get the angle grooming brush, so that will be in another giveaway.
Oh, he didn't get the $500 gift certificate.
Oh.
You didn't get the
Oh, the
measuring.
base. He did not get the base.
Oh, he didn't get anything.
Better luck next time.
Sorry. No, it looks like he got
Ooh, the rock
the
cluster.
rock clusters.
Oh, that's
Those
a
are
good
really
deal.
cool.
That's a good
Those
deal.
are really cool.
They're lightweight.
Go ahead, you hold it.
Lightweight, hand painted. It's made out of the 10-pound density foam
That you can drive over.
that you can drive over. We are not replacing it if you try it. So we'll send that out to you, Brian. One of the things we're going to start tonight through Sunday is
Ooh, this is big. This is exciting.
Tell a friend.
20% off foam products, urethane foam products. So that's your
Mannequins?
mannequins, life size, change out heads.
Who
We're
cleared
throwing
this?
in the quarts, the gallons of the urethane, your bird bodies, your change out heads, your artificial driftwood, artificial rocks,
Couldn't
your
we have gone
fish
5?
forms. I get in trouble for my sales, but I'm excited. So huge, all the new artificial driftwood. Those people that are asking for our catalog, you can't, just because you don't have the catalog, all our new stuff is online. So if you go to what's new, you can find all that stuff. So take advantage of this.
So this is
Can we send this out with everybody that uses the code? Is this
Sure.
something we could send?
Sure.
So
It's-
for
it's
those of you,
It's a work of art, first
the
of all.
code is foam20, and you can either call it in, the girls will help you walk through what you need, or online. But with every order that uses the code, we are going to throw in Gary Zahner's measurement chart.
You can make
Sheet.
copies of them, use them over and over and over.
Yep.
Cool.
Very nice.
So those will go with your
Your
urethane
little
order.
foam people are gonna flip
I know.
out.
I already talked to them. They're all
There you
ready
go.
for it, and they're super excited, and the shelves are stocked and ready. So
They might have
let's
flipped
do
out a
this.
little.
Now, one of the things though, guys, so we are doing Black Friday sales. Take advantage of this one because we are not, the foam products and mannequins are not going to be on sale for Black Friday or any of that. So make sure you take advantage of this one because you won't see it on the next
So
one.
it's now through
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep. And then we'll start kind of giving you ideas of what the Black Friday ones are going to be next week. So yay!
So-
Tom, are you okay? You look scared when we
I
say
am. I'm
sale.
just looking at this. A big brown bear. What's our big brown bear? $1,000?
Shh! Don't give them any ideas.
That's $200
Take
off.
advantage,
That's
people.
$200
Take
off.
advantage.
Oh my gosh.
How long does the sale run? Jared Embry was late to the show
Through
or
Sunday.
something.
Now
through
through Sunday.
Now through Sunday.
Sunday.
Get those
Yep.
white
Get your-
tail measured.
get
that
your
are
chicken
coming in
horns.
now. Yep.
Yeah. So your
Brand new rooster forms.
either call in or
Ah,
place your
man.
orders online and take advantage right now before he shuts it down.
Yeah.
Oh, you're ready to cry.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Do you guys have anything else for today?
I think that's it. This is you saw how this wasn't hard.
Nope.
Just kind of a system. They're still gelled in there, but once they're solid by tomorrow, you won't be able to budge these without breaking the skull apart. Amber chipped off any of the little putty that was on there. Just from dirty hands and dirty table, we have little smudges here. We'll take a little lacquer thinner and clean that off.
Same process for
Yep, same exact
artificial?
process for that.
Yep.
And these can be glossed. We usually seal our skulls. I don't know if we told them either. Elmer Screw and Water works great to seal your skull, and I've done it for
That'll
years.
help lock in the teeth and
Yep.
everything too.
And
You can
Elmer
take
Screw and Water doesn't yellow. A lot of your Verithanes and urethanes and all that different kind of stuff will yellow, and this will turn ivory. Elmer Screw and Water stays clear.
Yep. Great sealer.
That's it.
So tune in next Thursday for the free airbrush giveaway. We're going to be doing it on Thanksgiving around 5 or 6. So stay tuned for that. And then with all the doorbusters and Black Friday sales, we kind of tried to go big for you guys this year. So stay tuned.
Order lots of
20% off
foam.
20% off phone right now.
Rocks too.
Yeah.
Driftwood.
Driftwood, artificial
Fish.
driftwood, artificial
Oh my
rocks, fish
Birds,
forms, bird
birds.
bodies,
Oh my gosh.
mannequins, life size.
Order them up. Order them up.
Okay.
You're funny.
You're gonna be
Give me a
entertaining
life jacket,
to work.
I'm on
Yeah,
board.
you're gonna be entertaining to work with this week.
All right, we'll catch you next Thursday.
Thank you.